Welcome back to our second match between Team Dignitas and Team Liquid. I guess it's game 2, not second match. But unfortunately, I got the same thing out of my loot box, so Isaac's still here. It's still going to be a great game, though. Good stuff happened last game.
Yeah, I mean, Dignitas closed out very impressively once they started to fight, once they really got going. Yeah. But for them, you want to see them being super proactive. First ultimate we see from Taliyah is like 15 minutes and stuff.
Right.
So it's certainly a situation where they can look to play their composition as best as they possibly can and try to be in the best possible shape going into playoffs. For TL, I think they need to play with a little bit more patience. We saw some over-aggressive plays when they didn't really need to. They weren't in a position where I felt that they were pressured into these fights. Piglet in the fight around Dragon, jumping in for essentially a 1v2 there on Keane and Altec, not able to pull that off. That was a bit of over-aggression. And then again, going for this kind of all-in play onto Shrimp, who was a full tank Jarvan, and not being able to take him down. That was turned around on them also. So both teams, I think, could play a little bit more to the win conditions of their composition.
Right.
And TL, while they did have some great plays, and I think played Dignitas very evenly in the early game, they just need to have faith in their composition, have faith in themselves to be able to execute if they get to a late game with a comp like that.
And I also want to see from TL working more kind of with the teams they're trying to build. They go through the laning phase, as we kind of said. I want to have a good laning phase. That's good if Dardoch comes, Dardoch comes. But I want to see, like, Dardoch go to Mickey, Dardoch go to Lourlo, back to Lourlo, back to Lourlo. We haven't seen that from those guys. Reignover did it a few, but when you're switching teams, that synergy becomes hard because you're worried about doing well in your lane again. So hopefully Team Liquid can kind of find that comfort environment to going back to being able to get each lane going, not just by laning phase.
Yeah, it's kind of what Kobe was talking about on the desk as far as, hey, Mickey came in, he said, I want to show that I can continue to be this super aggressive player and be successful with that. And we know that Dardoch has the ability to be this crazy aggressive jungler who can take over games. And if those two players can work in combination to accomplish that, they could really snowball some games.
Playmaking from Matt, the Thresh comes in. Team Liquid was not forced to ban that. They chose to in game 1. So now he gets to roam around a little early. What will Piglet stay safe with? We'll have to see what his pick is. The Gragas locked in for Dardoch. And they're up against Shrimp's Jarvan again, most likely going to him for this comfort role. But that could be their mind game. Say, yeah, Shrimp played it. Now it's Ssumday.
Exactly, and Dardoch could be giving the Gragas over to Lourlo still. So there always is that possibility if they feel like it's going to be a better matchup for them. The early Blitzcrank would be pretty surprising to me when nothing has been shown besides kind of just the front line, right? It's just a Gragas and it's just a Thresh.
Right.
It's not like you've seen an immobile carry who is kind of that juicy target for you. And Liquid can now kind of cater their composition a little bit around that. You know that Dignitas is going to be running some sort of pick. They are going to be having that in. But I think taking the Tristana here is really intelligent if you are going to go for the Blitzcrank. Because, yes, there is champions like Ezreal who can shift out of it. But Ezreal is really not in a good place in the meta right now and is not played hardly at all. So it does limit their options somewhat. TL is either going to have to try to go for... Wow. Okay, that Vayne just got locked.
That was pretty quick. A smile on Piglet's face. Vayne getting locked in for Team Liquid. We're looking for late game scaling. Well, this can happen kind of mid to late now for TL, the Vayne. Got to be protected. Are they going to get an Orianna for Mickey, or what's the choice? That's actually banned. Lulu's still available, but they have Thresh. So it's almost up to Piglet himself on this Vayne.
Yeah, and it's one of Piglet's signature champions. It's something that we haven't gotten to see a lot in the LCS in a really long time. Piglet, we know, is a mechanically very gifted AD carry. He can take over a game if he gets ahead enough, but Vayne has such a bad laning phase, and it is going to be very difficult if he ever gets hooked in. If he ever gets pulled in, there's already a Jarvan, the Blitzcrank on top of that. Tristana outranges you very heavily, so it's super difficult to actually succeed on Vayne in this meta. The only situations I really feel like Vayne is pretty good in is into multiple tank type teams where there's kind of these lower threat teams. Like if you're fighting into like maybe a Cho'Gath and a Maokai and a Braum or something, then maybe you can pull it off, but it's really difficult, and we'll see if he tries to get into a side lane and split push or how he's going to want to go for it.
As long as there's not that much follow-up damage, you get crowd controlled and roll around if you're only getting tapped.
Yeah.
But the moment you get hit twice by an Altec late game, the bad news bears. What's the last ban? They actually take out the Shen as well. which takes away another shield for Vayne, but also obviously takes that away from Altec in the long run. Rek'Sai is going to get banned out. We've been seeing a bit more of that go down towards the list. And now it is the pickup for Team Liquid. We're looking for a jungler, top laner, and mid laner if that Gragas gets flopped around.
And let's be honest, this could be the last game of the season for Piglet, so maybe he's just having a little bit of fun.
Hey.
Locking in the Vayne, trying to get that in there, trying to show a fun game for the fans. Taliyah going to be the pick for Mickey, so showing something a little bit different there, and there is a pretty cool combination. You can actually condemn people into the Taliyah wall for that stun. Not sure we'll actually ever see that pulled off during the game, but it is an option, and
ooh,
Keane,
the Vayne of the AP world.
yeah, Keane on this Cassio has been one of his best champions.
Yep.
He's been extremely good on it all split long, and he's one of the guys who really does prioritize the champion quite a lot. It's actually his second most played. He has a 70% win rate over 10 games on it, and he really has carried quite a lot of games with his Cassio.
Oh, okay, so it does go to the top side. They did flex the Jarvan here going into game 2, and Adrian gets the Elise, something we have commonly seen over the first half of the summer split and somewhat of the back half, that ban, and now she's back in the game.
Hey, I think it makes a lot of sense. Grab this Elise. There's pretty good gank assist on top side, on bot side as well. So there really is a lot of options for where Shrimp could go, and it's adding even more CC, more threats on this Vayne for the eventual team fights. If you get tagged by a Cocoon or a Petrifying Gaze or a Hook or even the Flag and Drag from the Jarvan, it's going to be really tough for Piglet, so we'll see if he can actually pull this pick off.
This is going to be that comfort play coming in for TL. Dardoch back on the clean Lee Sin. We'll see if he can make it squeaky clean this game. Lourlo getting a bit more damage from the Poppy to now Gragas. That Vayne, trying to keep an eye on this bot lane. I was thinking Matt would be roaming with the Thresh, but he may need to offer a little bit more protection unless they get going very, very early. Dignitas coming off of a pretty decent game 1 win, decent with a slow early game to a very nice closeout. Just got to find that closeout a little faster from a team at the top of the list.
Certainly, their late game was dominant. They had great plays. It was just more my criticism about the lack of proactivity with ultimates. You know, when you have the Shen ultimate, you have the CM ultimate, you want to see people get proactive. This time, I would say they have better scaling than last game. When you have someone like the Cassio, who is such a monster team fighter later in the game, they have the Tristana as well. So that is going to be pretty strong for them. I feel like it's Liquid who's going to be the team that has to make a lot more plays. You know, Taliyah really needs to get out to these side lanes, try to make something happen. The Lee Sin and the Gragas are playmakers, as is the Taliyah, as is this Thresh. Because if you go into a straight-up 5v5 later against this Dignitas comp, I don't really see them winning. So look for TL to be proactive if they want to have a chance to win. And they're actually looking like they may be going for a 5-man invade here. Speaking of being proactive.
I like it. I'm going to actually keep an eye on Matt real quick. I've obviously not leveled anything yet, but it may be that Hook first if they do get in range. Remember, it's going to be Hook City here. Adrian versus Matt, Blitzcrank versus Thresh. And again, we have Ignites for those supports. Not in the mid lane this time, though. Safety summoners for those guys.
We'll see if they want to try to go for the play to steal away some of the Raptor camp. You can look for that with the Taliyah. Can be fairly effective. Dardoch has had his side warded out as well, so Dignitas knows exactly what he is planning to do for the starting stages of the game.
All the question pings.
It's really going to come down to what kind of paths these junglers want to pull off. You can do very heavy farming paths. You can go for much more aggressive stuff, but both teams will have a good idea of what the opposing jungler is doing. Even though Shrimp is not on a ward as Dardoch is, the fact that he's not at Raptors, he is not at red, tells you that he's going to be starting over at blue. Yes, there are a lot of different routes that you can pull off after that, but still, it's a lot of good intel.
What a nice pull. Nice Gragas barrel. Volleys, and they are off. It looks so quick. Dardoch with 6 CS. 1 for Shrimp. Great job. Doing well. No. So blue means
quality
Shrimp.
over quantity, Riv.
There you go. There you go. Going fast to the Raptors and the red. I don't think we'll see Dardoch too soon out of the jungle. He'll probably just continue to complete. And we'll see what Shrimp's pathing is. Pings over towards his red. He says, keep your eyes on me, please. if Dardoch goes for anything crazy. Nice damage here to start the bot lane off.
Piglet able to actually tumble out of that hook, getting some really nice trades, and he's utilizing the bonus damage on that tumble when he does have the Warlord's Bloodlust up to try to get that higher damage auto, so more health back. And they're playing the early stages of this lane very, very well. We'll see if they can keep this up, as it certainly is a high barrier to execution, and Shrimp could be heading down to bot side. He actually repelled over the Dragon Pit and is going to be spotted out by Dardoch.
Thank you very much. They'll at least have an idea of what's going on. But he goes back to his Raptors. Dardoch's going to know this. That ward placed just previously, I believe, by Mickey is going to allow them in. The big Raptor, he steals it away. And with the lane being pushed up, Mickey's able to roam down quick.
Yeah, it's a great start there for Dardoch. Takes away the Scuttle, takes away another camp, and now he also has access to his opponent's Krugs and can even threaten pressure on the bot side. I think he's waiting to see if Elise will actually path over here for now, but does wait enough time. Decides he's just going to go do some counter jungling as his bot lane is pushing up, so they have that going for them. And they may actually try to pull off a dive. This could be risky.
Condemned against the wall. Quick kill into Altec. Clean so far. Matt's taking the aggro. Gets out with one more shot. Beautifully done. Dardoch now on 2. Flashes away. The Ignite takes him down. Just a little too much. Beautifully played by both sides.
What a sick dive, though, from TL. And Piglet comes out with a kill and double bust. They're trying to pull off a dive on Lourlo.
Lourlo trying to be big on this one and trying to be quick as well. The last few hits come in, and another nice turret tank on the top side here. Team's doing some great dives to start things off.
I mean, you'll take this trade, though, for TL every time. Of course, they get the extra kill, they get the first blood, but look how far this has put Piglet ahead of Altec, and this is a very aggressive play. We talked about how they had to actually go for these sorts of moves. Really nice play, straight into the Condemn. Altec goes down so quickly, and then TL does a really good job actually juggling the turret aggro, and although Dardoch goes down, it just transfers the buffs to the support, and then Piglet picks them up with the kills. And top side, Ssumday has been shoving in Lourlo. They're very easily able to set up this dive. Actually, really intelligent how they play this. So Ssumday was just standing beside him, not pulling turret aggro until they're both in range, both ready to actually make that play. And they even get Lourlo's flash out before turret aggro has even been taken.
1-2 punch, trying to draw the fight in. They get themselves back to safety, and that back down to the bot side. Dardoch, they know flashes are down here for Adrian. He only has the speed up, but you got to slow down after speeding up. Lourlo with a body slam saves himself and almost takes down Shrimp if he had not saved Repel.
That was really close, and we'll see if Lourlo can hang around, because Ssumday is pretty low, and Lourlo will have his passive to get some of this health back. Doesn't really want to go back to base right now, as he doesn't have the gold to do it, and the wave is pushing against him.
Also just used teleport as they came back previously.
Exactly. When you die to that dive and you have to TP back and it happens again, it can be so brutal. So we'll see if Lourlo can actually manage to stay around and push out this wave. If he does not, he's going to fall very significantly behind.
TL staying on the side of Dignitas. See Dardoch just clearing and placing more wards. Nice dodge by Matt to just go low. You start putting up the front. They aren't going to go hard just yet. Eyes on a Shrimp and the bot side kind of makes him play a little more timid.
Shrimp should have been spotted by that ward now, so they have an idea where he is. You can see the pings going down. Dardoch is on the top side, may look to go for a gank here up onto Ssumday, but Ssumday is 6. Lourlo is not. He's trying to wait out the flag and drag. Nicely done there by Ssumday. So he has, they're both, it's a mind game. Dardoch is trying to force Ssumday to actually take the flag and drag so he can take the second part of that resonating strike, but they are going to try to corral him and look for the dive now. He can keep stopping this base. Lourlo is pushing in the wave. He does have to be careful, though, if he gets in turret range and gets ultimated. Not just going to let him go.
Just waiting on the cooldown. Get some time to himself here. Won't really have the rotation of Shrimp. Knows he was towards the bot side, but he's got to be quick. Lourlo being pushed up gives them some safety.
Yeah, and they can reset the wave, so that is something going for them. It's not going to be that big of a deal. Now that they get it fully pushed in, Shrimp is up here now, but Lourlo resets the wave. He's going to be able to get a base off and try to kind of stabilize up here in the top lane.
I was going to say, the first time Shrimp starts to go aggro, and he gets Dardoch first. Slows him down, gets the cripple onto Shrimp so he can't move as quick. One last shot, gets it in onto Dardoch. Shrimp
too.
With the solo kill.
Yeah, Keane is here too, and Lourlo actually is staying around because he tried to defend Dardoch, but he's going to be stopped, and now they're going to dive him as well on the bot side.
Long range grab. Piglet wasn't where that was going to happen, but he's ready to fight it with Mickey being here. Adrian, remember that flash is just about to come up within the next minute. He's going to go down, and now they're going to get themselves to safety, possibly going on to Altec. One last shot. Mickey picks that one up as they keep going.
Great roam down from Mickey on the top side. Lourlo got dove, but TL coming up big down here in the bottom lane, and they're pushing for this first turret.
Look at those smiles on the faces of Piglet and the rest of the team. Who's going to get it first? That goes over to Dignitas on the top side, and we'll see it shortly from TL. Drop there in the bot.
I mean, if this was a game to carry for a Vayne, I mean, this is it, right? Vayne 2-0-2, massively ahead of the Tristana. Going to be at a really strong point, and oh, Shrimp going to get caught out.
Ooh, Shrimp stayed quite a long time on this top side, and he is going to be able to get taken down. Dardoch's like, I like that revenge. Thank you very much. Cleared wave by Altec on the bottom, 36-59 in that lane. Tristana versus a Vayne. And Matt and Piglet have been going hard down there.
Yeah, so here was the setup on the top side. They stopped Lourlo's base. Not a lot he can really get done, and very easy to execute dive. On the bot side, Altec trying to turn this around, decides to go aggressive, but just gets run down by the three-man squad. And you can see Piglet is so happy. Vayne, his favorite champion. The game is going so well. He's got to be feeling good.
Oh, my word. Even dancing in his seat. And that's what he's doing around these plays here. Already dodged multiple hooks. I should say Blitzcrank grabs with that roll. The summoners are down, so he might have to play a little bit safer here as you see him working up to his Zergreaves and that Infinity Edge.
It's interesting that he is deciding to go straight for this IE. He's not going for any sort of dueling style build. He's not looking for a Blade of the Rune King to split push. He's going more for that team fighting style, which is IE, double Zeal very often. You certainly can put up massive amounts of damage if you can be protected. They're looking for Keane.
Oh, it's a party. He got his flash. He's going to have to do the Petrifying Gaze backwards, but no, TL doesn't commit enough. Mickey actually dodges out on that. Adrian was just short, so he gets a flash. Good thing for Dignitas. That could be a rinse and repeat if they go for a pull engage. Ssumday takes it right away. The flash being down is return on investment immediately. And a double kill coming in for Shrimp as Dignitas just closes in on mid lane.
Yeah, great roam down from Ssumday. Catches them both in the Cataclysm, and both Lourlo and Mickey turn towards the Cassio. Right as Keane tags them with the Petrifying Gaze. They're going to be able to knock down this turret here as well. They have Piglets pushing on the bot side, but Dardoch and Nat, there's no way they can actually defend. They have no wave clear whatsoever.
See how fast Piglet can push too. He doesn't have a static shiv even in his build, so it's slow going for Vayne to get that wave up to the turret. Protection by members. Dardoch and Matt are going to be his wall here in the jungle. It looks like they're going to clear this wave together and get themselves to safety.
This is actually very smart from Dignitas as well. The fact that they are just going to try to group up, make these sorts of plays. They know that they are losing the 2v2 bot lane, but TL making a smart move of their own, going to be able to push this up and look to try to knock down this turret. They will get it. We'll see if they can get out. The TP's coming in. They're looking for a fight. That's
a dead Adrian. This is a teleport coming in from Lourlo as well. Lourlo actually stops that, feeling like the fight won't continue. They still want the top lane push so they can get more map control.
You have to be a little bit careful, though, as they are now going to have TP disadvantage.
That's true.
Ssumday's will be up.
The map control ways back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, they do get control of that top lane, like you're talking about.
For sure.
But you have to be careful about making plays on the other side of the map, because Ssumday could be looking to TP, and they could try to contest this. They don't have the proper vision, though, so a TL able to pull off the play, get the turret, get the dragon, and they should be able to get out.
And what you're talking about is coming into play right now. Ssumday gets to that top lane. And whatever happens here, Lourlo has to react very, very quick to Ssumday's teleport.
Here's the play again. Body slam fast. Very well done by Lourlo. But you see he goes for the auto attack before he throws out the explosive cast. And there's not enough time to actually do that if the person is spamming their flash. So now Ssumday already on the roam. Didn't have to use his TP. Flash, ultimates, both them in. And they turn into the Petrifying Gaze. Just destroyed by Keane and Ssumday. They're such a good roam and really nice execution on the team fight.
Sorry, that Gragas pause got me immediately. What a good fight. Shrimp picking up the Rift Herald. They're gonna make good use of this one. Mid lane is still standing here. Oh, Dardoch just trying to get some resources. Flash just at the end of that too, as he thought he could get out.
Yeah, the dunk coming in from Ssumday, completing it. There's a lot of CC from Dignitas. If you get hit by anything, it will get followed up. There you get cocooned, you're gonna get hooked, you're gonna get silenced, you're gonna get punched up. There's so much to actually follow up for those kills for Dignitas. And they have Piglet now. The big advantage for TL is where Piglet is at in the game, right? He is actually 1,200 gold ahead of his counterpart, Altec. He has his completed IE. We'll see what he can actually get done. How effective can he be in these fights? Can he find his way in? Because any CC on Vayne often shuts her completely down in the team fight. And this is not a Vayne with a Janna or a Lourlo and an Orianna. This is a Thresh and, well, there's a Taliyah. You know, there is frontline, there's protection through that, but Vayne is relatively short range. It's really hard to even get up and actually offer damage while still avoiding all the CC and the Petrifying Gaze and the auto attacks from everyone else.
In a way, you can say the things of TL assist Vayne's kit, but don't really assist Vayne. You know, as you said, you can condemn against the wall, get yourself in different positions. But going out of champions, like we said, Piglet was going to have his work cut out for him. And Adrian continues to look for those grabs. Altec building up, 18 on the call, and then he'll have some money to go for that Infinity Edge himself.
They're going to be looking to play a little bit of catch-up.
Yeah. He's on 1,200 right now. Seeker's arm guard onto Shrimp as he gets himself a little bit of defense, so Piglet isn't hurting until the third bolt.
And when Piglet does actually complete his Shiv, his Rapid Fire, we'll see if he actually goes for that or if he's going to go a different route. He may want to try to get an earlier QSS, something like that, to help deal with all this CC.
Yeah.
There certainly are different options, but if he's confident he can avoid everything and go for a pure damage build, well, it will be pretty spectacular if he pulls it off.
Ooh. A little scary there. I think he realized it himself, walking forward in the jungle. Wards or not, grabs can come over the fog of war at this one, and Adrian is looking all the time. Here, just on the edge, Adrian coming down towards the top and getting those wards cleared. They have Lourlo on the top side with teleport back up now, but they got to be careful in the mid lane. Mickey gets himself safe through a flash, but it's a 3-member engage. Petrifying Gaze just behind him, able to drop the wall, almost gets out. The strike from Ssumday coming out clean, and they do get him.
They're going to complete the TP. They want the fight.
Quick hit. Keane left straggling a little bit. I thought they might be able to get a few more members out. Good Lantern in the Dark Passage brings Piglet just close enough. Vayne Passage now gives him the chase potential. The Cocoon locks him up. And there's no second phase here, it seems, for Piglet. Oh, bounces him away. That is unfortunate. And it is just going to be Mickey and Adrian going down. Actually, sorry, Keane as well there.
Yeah, a lot of summoners committed there in the chase, the TP, the flash from Lourlo, and all 4 summoners of the bot lane from TL, but they do clean up a couple more kills. Dardoch does get Adrian, at least for them. Unfortunately that Piglet wasn't able to grab any of those kills for himself, but they hold on, they fight back, and this is a big chase here onto Mickey. Somebody pulling him out of the Weaver's wall with that ultimate, but the flash Cocoon missing, the ultimate there with the flash from Keane missing also, and this gives confidence to TL that they can take this fight. They know summoners are down. They know a lot of the ultimates are down. A really nice initiation from Matt to go for it, but Piglet not really able to get in range. He'd already used his tumble, and he's not actually able to catch up. And on the other side, we see Dardoch chasing down Adrian, does eventually get this final kill.
That was always great. He said, I had enough. Just ult you. Get it done. So not that much of a gold lead here. This game still anybody's.
It's certainly really, really close. TL putting up a pretty good fight, you have to say, against Dignitas in both of these games. We'll see if Dignitas is able to blow it open like they did in game number 1, because we saw when Dignitas got that big fight, they were able to snowball it into a Baron, into a win so quickly, and they really did shine in that later stage of the game. Question remains, can they actually get to that stage? Can they pull off those same sorts of plays, or will TL be able to hang around longer? Because it's not much further into the game that Dignitas did kind of fully take over. It was around that 20-minute mark.
It was really great from TL as well. I said coming in here that
that's not a minion.
If they're going to do something, they should go to a lane and help this Vayne. Go to Mickey and help that Taliyah. And that's kind of what they did. Matt got grabbed in, but Dardoch was there for that first gank in the bot lane. They were helping Piglet. He got started very early, and they've kind of had that in place each time.
I agree completely. It feels like they're working more as a squad You know, even the roam from Mickey down to bot lane was very good. They have been playing better around the pressure, but Dignitas was executing better in the early game as well. You know, diving Lourlo constantly. So both teams have been kind of firing shots back and forth. Matt looking now.
Would have been a heck of a grab. They bring in, it's going to be Lourlo. Throws the explosive cask out, gets himself to safety with a very nice shield there. The safeguard in. Shrimp has to repel for the kill to execute, but he does not get it. And that's 2 down for Dig.
Yeah, that's a big couple kills. Adrian hooking them in, but he's the one that goes down along with Shrimp, and it should be the mid lane turret here also for TL.
Little minion wave, just enough though if you got a Vayne fed up. 3-0-3, he's only missed out on a few. Really 60% everything that's been going on at this moment. And now they will be looking for the mid turret. A roam down from Ssumday. He actually seems to stop that here. He's going to keep going for the wave.
They could go right over this dragon also, try to look for that. I think grabbing the Cloud Dragon makes a lot of sense in this situation. It's a pretty easy objective for them to snag, and they're sending Lourlo back up to the top side to collect that wave, so they're not really giving up much of anything. TL looking a lot better in their decision-making in Game 2.
Minute and a half on to Baron. That was something that exploded this game. Wide open for Dignitas. Last time, they were able to come from the red side and make a bit of a hit.
Dignitas, though, setting up a trap around this red buff. They're waiting for Piglet or someone to come collect it. They have full vision control in this area. There was one ward in the Raptor pit, though, for TL, so they should know this is going on. Seeing Keane there is a giveaway.
Ooh.
And I don't think they're going to face check unless they have their full squad.
Piglet's going back. He says, I want nothing
Lourlo,
to do.
get on the other side of the minions.
Side. 1,400 for Piglet to spend. Straight for the static shiv. Gets himself some good items. 19:20 on the clock. Waves are just being maintained at the moment. A reset down bottom for Ssumday, so he can go ahead and start getting that pushed out. I should say pushed in. In this case, Lourlo's going to have to respond.
Yeah, Piglet has not really had a chance yet to kind of flex his muscles in a team fight, though. We'll see how he performs once they are in that full committed fight. Because after dominating that early lane, for the most part, it's been little skirmishes where he hasn't been involved, or it's been TL trying to make plays, and Dignitas striving to just avoid Piglet. Wherever Piglet shows, Dignitas is trying to make a play elsewhere on the map because they know that so much of the gold and power is concentrated in this Vayne.
Still a few wards for Dignitas placed forward. None now for TL though. They've lost anything past the river here, so they got to be careful. That's why 3 is a crowd for them. Piglet, Dardoch, and Matt roaming together. As Lourlo puts a shoulder ward down towards that bottom side so they don't get engaged down by a possible hook right there. Getting control of Baron though, this could help. That shrine for Dignitas is going to give them an idea of what's going on.
Yeah, it's past 20 minutes. Baron is up. It would be very risky for either team to go for a Baron this early without killing a number of people, but you want to start fighting for control over it so you can threaten these sorts of plays. Especially for Dignitas. You have such a fast Baron with that Cassiopeia that they really can rush it down extremely early if TL is not very diligent about these plays. And we can see Ssumday TPing him from behind. He's looking to catch.
A lot of movement going down, knocked right off the wall, catches Mickey halfway through. Mickey gets to the other side, makes his way to the lantern as he was pinching through the wall from that flash. Altec very, very low, instantly obliterated from the map. Adrian's gonna be next, and that's the shot coming in from Piglet. 4-0-4 on the Vayne. Dragon's kick back onto Keane. He is gonna be torn apart and turned into a pair of shoes. A double kill for Piglet.
The kick flash from Dardoch straight into the hook of Madden. They're going to look for this Baron now. Mickey with a miracle escape there. TL come out so far ahead. It's all up to Shrimp now.
I think just about the last point in this game, I said there could be a Baron if they kill enough. He did the same thing. Then we got a Baron. This time it's TL's. What a flip-flop from last game, because this was Dignitas' timing right here. And now TL has the lead.
It certainly was, and they committed very heavily to the pick on Mickey. He gets knocked off here by by Ssumday, but look at Shrimp. Shrimp actually flashes over for the QXU, but he gets blocked out by the wall. He doesn't actually follow. And then Mickey's able to actually cleanse out. Great lantern from Matt, saves him. And yes, Ssumday does clean him up on the backside of the fight, but the fight has already been won. Their bot lane is down, and then look at that kick from Dardoch. Kick flash straight into the waiting hook of Matt. No chance for Keane to get anything done there.
Ooh, turning up the heat.
Piglet's damage.
He did more than the team.
Those are some big crits, and he is going towards likely the rapid fire. It could be a PD, but I think rapid fire is what we are going to see.
Get that first hit. Boom.
Yeah, that first hit from Vayne with the tumble rapid fire cannon. If you crit that, it is an enormous amount of damage.
Yeah, it definitely changed the mind of anyone in that fight. We'll just have to see if he can get close enough. They have done an immaculate job of protecting him, but also swarming him. There's so many champions. It's very hard to click on a Vayne in that situation when you're looking to get around that Thresh, looking to get around a big Gragas. They cannot find their priority target in Piglet.
Exactly, and that's why a lot of it comes down to which team initiates on who, right? If it is TL charging in with their front line first, then it's very hard for Dignitas to actually set up the play on TL, but if Dignitas is the one who engages, they can pick and choose their moment. They can pick and choose their target and try to look to zone out Piglet and take him down, but we see the Taliyah wall trying to do some zoning work here. Not much really accomplished with it, though. They do have Baron minions coming up.
Lourlo putting up a roadblock in mid, so the minions can't get too far out. They'll be meeting another wave just shortly. He'll also be meeting Ssumday. Shrimp's gonna get over here. He'll be able to slalom through the minions, and now pulling 2 over. And TL can start to spread this a little thin and make sure they don't get caught out.
They want to push up all these waves with the Baron buff. Try to start knocking down some turrets to extend this gold lead. They have prepped the bottom wave very well. They're looking for Shrimp. They're going to go in.
Piglet is not in this fight. He's at the top turret. Ssumday low. Lourlo taking turret, and now it's going to be a grounded Matt locked down in the Miasma and the Cataclysm. And Piglet's going to go ahead and back. They did get the turret. Not too bad of a trade.
Not too bad. We'll see if they can continue to keep that pressure on, though.
Yeah.
Matt taking the hook in with Piglet not there onto an Elise who can repel, under that turret is very risky, and it certainly does not pay off because even though that play did not go disastrous, Piglet would have gotten the top lane turret anyway if they had just played a bit more patiently. That being said, it's just the support that goes down, so they take the turret, they get the dragon, and they are still going to have some time left on this Baron after Matt respawns.
I love these 4 wards that TL have. If you're ever to place 4 wards in an opposing side, that little arc of wards they have is beautiful. Keane gets himself to safety, tucks his tail in to dodge the explosive cast there, and he's going to keep going for Lourlo. Oh, the flash hit just at the end of the body slam. Do they want it? It seemed like Dardoch had hesitated for 1 second. Piglet gets caught in this fight as well. He tries to go for a target to at least take it out. Tumbles right through the legs of Ssumday.
He's looking for Keane.
To drop him. Now he's going to turn around. Altec says, let's go, draw the weapons. It's going to be the fight there between both Piglet and Altec go down. A triple kill for Dardoch in what looked like a very big hesitation for TL. It's just the ace.
It's the ace, and they could be pushing for the win. Piglet's doing his little happy dance in his chair there as TL looking like they will at least get an inhibitor here. We'll see if they continue to go. They are posturing forward, so I think they want to try to end. There's 9 seconds on Shrimp. I'm not sure that they're going to have time.
If they had Piglet, that would be
have to back up
so quick to the Nexus. But you're right, and it's well on Dignitas to start realizing now that if they can get Piglet, the fight can fizzle out for TL much, much quicker here. Obviously, that's their target, but you saw how fast that turned around.
Yeah, pretty crazy fight here. Keane doing a really good job playing around in this 1v2, delaying time, allowing them to get down here. Then Lourlo catching him with that flash. Really nice sidestep on the Q as well. At the same time, Ssumday and Shrimp are going on to Piglet. It was actually great peeling from Mickey with the seismic shove onto the Elise, peeling him off his Vayne out of that kind of venomous bite, and you can see Altec does go in, gets the execute onto Vayne, but that's a one-way trip for him, and the rest of TL clean up a huge fight.
7-1-7 with a 5,000 gold power play there. You can see the lead that they have, 7,000 gold for themselves.
And we talked, is he going to go for early damage? Is he going to go for QSS? Well, he's so fed that at 26 minutes he has both. He's already on rapid fire, Shiv, IE, and he has his QSS. Piglet is in such a strong position. and it's going to be tough for Dignitas to actually zero him out, but they do have still very good scaling. If they can slow down this game, they can look to take it later.
They got to choose their targets as well.
Taliyah looking for the wall here. Mickey's down on the bot side. They're going to try to zone off this turret and take it down. Will he go for the play now?
Ssumday might be able to poke him as he drives across that wall. He just used the flag and drag, so they should be good. Here comes Blitzcrank. Adrian running out of the base with the boost. But it looks like he's going to be slowing down here as those home guards wear up.
Mickey did have to flash away from Ssumday there. Whoa. Now they're using that Weaver's Wall. They are going to try to go for the inhibitor turret, but there's no minion wave, so the play will fizzle out, and Mickey is left flashless and without an ultimate. Remember, Vayne also has no flash, so the two carries of TL are vulnerable if TL gets engaged on.
That's at least 2 minutes there for Piglet, so possibly around 30. They may go hard for that engage once again. That means we already have Baron up, but that means it's about a minute and a half where Piglet might have to fight with that flash down. The team will have to know as well.
And I think they're going to wait for that summoner because flash is so important for Vayne.
Yeah.
Piglet is a massive amount of the team's damage, and the fact that both of your carries have no summoners against so much CC from the other team is a really scary prospect. So TL resets, they back off. They still have that bottom inhibitor down, which will provide that extra pressure come Baron time. Nice escape there from Shrimp. Able to just find the ward to repel to, and now the Baron dance begins. TL has the waves pushing it on bot. Somebody has TP, so may want to get down there, but perhaps they're going to try to force a fight before that comes to V.
The super minion's already towards that side of the base. From the side, they can do about half the health of the turret, even if they're the first one taking damage. So TL definitely has a decision to make. If they can keep Dignitas out of here, they might be getting the base just like Dig did last time.
I mean, Ssumday's still not pacing. He's actually just staying around. They're going to look for the fight right here.
That's exactly what they want. 2 members in. Lourlo puts himself into the fight.
Piglet's dead.
And it does not look good. Piglet goes down very early. Dardoch's going to fall immediately. Lourlo now is the priority target, and he is going to go down. Mickey's had to watch his team fight the entire time as there was nothing to block off, and Dig's headed for the base just all the same.
Oh, and Mickey actually going to get caught out here by Adrian. We'll see if he can delay long enough for his team, because his team is actually looking to just end the game. 15 seconds on Matt, 30 seconds, though, on the carries, and they can just march it down mid and end.
Absolutely ridiculous. Now with Altec here, that's the difference. When TL won this fight just a few minutes ago, there was no Piglet. Altec able to help the turrets go down. Remember that explosive shot draws aggro, but it does not go on to Altec. Keane already had it. He can still fire at the turrets. Matt looks for the hook. It goes right between the uprights. Mickey on the side. Is Dignitas really going to do this? Mickey's taking the shots. Altec changed his focus. It's no longer on the structure. And this could be the wipe. TL could go coast to coast.
Yeah, the Nexus turrets are down. They're TPing in. TL has done it. Dignitas goes for the end, but it's going to be TL that grabs the victory here. Piglet on the Vayne.
Lourlo coming up as strong as he can. Adrian doing what he can to stop him, but Piglet's going to be coming up shortly. There is 23 seconds on the next closest member. Shrimp can't even get back to the base at this point as he tries his damnedest. They're going to stop Lourlo for now. I don't know if this is going to specifically end right here unless they can grab Piglet. Piglet instantly going for the fight. They have the rest of the team. 7 seconds on the rest of the members. That's going to be it. Piglet finds the focus on the Nexus. We're going to a game 3. TL takes down Dignitas.
And what an exciting game 2 it was. The Vayne lock-in comes up big for TL as they are able to snowball that bot lane very heavily. Dardoch also with an excellent game here on a signature pick for him to Elise in.
That from Champion Select. I think everybody kind of had a smile on their face. They're like, oh, Vayne. Oh, Elise in. All right, comfort. It was seen so much in the early game. There was so much more proactiveness to going to a lane to help it. Like I said, not just letting the laning phase win, but going bottom, the Mickey roam to bottom, the flays, the flashes, and making sure Piglet was safe. It looked like a whole new Team Liquid.
And it just looked like they were really enjoying themselves.
Exactly.
They're smiling, they're laughing, they're having fun. They looked like they were relaxed, and they showed it in their play. So. TL definitely showcasing a much better game. But this was definitely a messy one on both sides.
Got to give it that as well. Back and forth, seeing what happened at the end. Those end game decision makings for TL, it hasn't been that situation for them a lot as well. But we have to, again, go back to Dignitas and say those are the things that are going to be super, super punished, as they even were here, when those tight calls are actually kind of hesitated on, and then you try it.
And I mean, Dig, they were actually very behind for a long time, but they found a great fight by Baron. And they decided to go for the throat. They decided to go for the end. They could have made the more defensive play, as they did in game number 1, where they backed off. They spent their gold, because they could have actually grabbed the Baron there uncontested, since it was just Mickey alive and they had not lost any of their members. This would have been a Baron take, base, 4 kills, Baron, you have superior scaling, maybe you're able to do it, but instead, this is the call Dig makes. They go straight for the end. Mickey and Matt coming out here, pushing the back. Keane taking a lot of turret damage. A lot of the members from Dig were very low from the turrets. And then as Piglet spawns, Altec is going in, trying to clean up some kills. They realize they can't actually finish off the Nexus, so they were trying to just, at that point, kill enough players where the game might not end.
It was actually pretty crazy to see that it was all managed very well. No worse moves were made by Liquid, because at the end there, I thought they were going to keep fighting. We saw Piglet going for those shots, and we have that role for him. But the focus was there in the end, and the focus was there actually from the beginning.
Yeah, and you have to think that a lot of the setup for this was from Dardoch. I think that he had a very, very good game for himself. To me, the big standout players for TL would have been Piglet and Dardoch in this game.
Absolutely.
Piglet was the beneficiary of a lot of good plays from the rest of his team, though, to help get him ahead. You could see Mickey roaming down, Dardoch setting up that early dive. And for me, I think that Dardoch was the player of this game, because he made some very big plays, including one in this fight with a kick flash in on Keane. And this is kind of what got them their big advantage, knocking down multiple members, finding those picks. And here is the kick coming in from Dardoch that was very, very nice.
Huzzah! That's what he said.
I mean, this is a game that TL can be proud of.
Yeah.
It's certainly not the cleanest game they've ever played, but this is a win against a top team, and it's going into the promo tournament. It showcased aggression. It showcased picks that they are comfortable on. And this is kind of the version of TL that you're hoping to see as a TL fan and as the TL organization going into promo relegation.
They really do, because Dignitas bringing out as much as they can. We see the jungler going, Shrimp playing the Elise this game, having a pretty good role for himself. A few of the early game solos he was able to find, but making sure Lourlo had a tough early game.
Yeah, he certainly did. Shrimp got a lot of work down on the top side. Lourlo knew this was coming, but look how well they set this up. Still not taking turret aggro. See how Ssumday does not even auto until after the flash is used? That setup was so good, and the patience there on that dive from Dignitas that was executed pretty much perfectly. Then, right after he TP's back, they go right back up. They're looking for the play again, and they're able to actually pull off a lot of these kills, and I think this is what helped get them quite a bit ahead on the top side.
That cocoon was actually pretty disgusting as well. Threw it in front of, actually would be behind for his exit, but this solo as well.
Yeah, I think that Shrimp can certainly be proud of the early game. They just made some mistakes later in the stages. And it was kind of a situation where the two teams are focusing on different sides of the map, right? You see TL really focusing the bot side, Dignitas really focusing the top side, but who got more out of that, right? Of course, it is Piglet who got super fed. And Ssumday, while he had a solid game and while he was pretty strong, he didn't really reach the kind of levels that Piglet did in this game.
No, absolutely. And Piglet kind of shining through for me as what could be a player of the game, not really grabbing any towards the end of the split. He was one, as we would talk in our meetings, as a guy who hasn't picked one up yet, because the team, although doing poorly, he also wasn't the one to be showing. But here, stepping up towards the end of the split, it seems like he likes to shine under the pressure even more.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that Piglet, when he has good games, he has really good games because he is a player who likes to be aggressive in lane, who likes to take risks. And when all those gambles and all those big plays pay off, well, he gets super fed and he goes 9-2-7 on Vayne.
So would you say you're a Piglet player of the game?
For me, I think that Dardoch was more of the standout player in this particular game, simply because I think that he set up a lot of the plays for his team. He's the one who set up the dive on bot lane. He's the one who really did get Piglet going and getting a lot of lanes going, you know, finding kicks, finding plays. And I think that though Piglet played a great game, to me, Dardoch would have been the player of the game.
It's true. It comes down to a lot of these situations where I can completely agree with you there as Dardoch player of the game, is that there's always a chicken and an egg. Which came first and which helped the other one? And in that one, Dardoch definitely did get things going as a catalyst.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a lot of how I think about it. You know, when a player performs very well, did they get the lead for themselves? Were they enabled by their teammates?
Right.
You know, kind of what happens to actually establish that first, because there's so many good players in the LCS that when you're put very far ahead, you can succeed even if you're not the best player, right? But there's far fewer players who can create those leads for themselves consistently.
Absolutely, and he's a guy who's been back and forth with teams, now back onto Team Liquid, and he gets to bring out the least in here. You saw that comfort in his play, 8-4-10, 75% kill participation feels pretty good when you get to fly around the map and be along with that Vayne. So this series is going to a Game 3. Don't go anywhere. Meet us back here in a few minutes to see if Team Dignitas or Team Liquid can end their regular split with a win.
You want Tristana or some shit? Because it's still up.
What do you think, Piggy?
No, I want to play Vayne, bro.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah?
You can play Vayne versus Trist?
Yes.
Beautifully done. Dardoch now on 2, flashes away. The Ignite takes him down. He's going to go down. And now they're going to get themselves to safety, possibly going on to Altec.
Kite back. We need a kite back, okay? Kite back, kite back, kite back.
Elise, no flash, Elise.
Nice. Go mid.
Are they looking at?
Cassio has... Cassio.
Kill Cass. Kill Cass and go Baron.
Ssumday
He's looking for Keane.
to drop him. Now he's going to turn around. Altec says, let's go, draw the weapons. Mickey on the side. Is Dignitas really going to do this? Mickey's taking the shots.
But it's going to be TL that grabs the victory here. Piglet on the Vayne.